Yo, what's good YouTube? Hope everybody's having a great day. Finally glad to be back on the channel. Yeah, like I said, I hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you're smiling. And I hope you're making the most of it, right? The reason why I wanted to record this video is because if you're going through something, if you're in like a crisis, if you feel like the world is pushing against you, if you feel that the world is just throwing two pieces at you, just boom, 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 and it can't get any worse, right? It can't get any worse. I think I found a solution to your problem, and it's pretty simple. Not easy, but simple. And it's this: you need to look at yourself to blame. Now, hold on. Let me elaborate. And what I'm trying to say is this: when you take responsibility for your life, you take control of your life. Even if it's something that wasn't in your control before it came into your life, once it did, it's in your control. It's your responsibility to take care of it. For example, I was reading 10X by Grant Cardone, and he was talking about, what if the power in his city turned off, right? That's completely not your fault. And, the power in your house turned off because your house was in the city. So what you do there is you look at it from a different point of view, and you say to yourself, it is my fault, or it is my responsibility now. It might not have been my fault, but it's my responsibility because now I know I need to have a backup generator. I need to invest in that just in case something like that happens in the city in the future. Does that make sense? So personally, I used to hold resentment towards other people in the past, in my high school. And I don't know if I told you guys, I'm 19 now, so high school was like almost 2 years ago for me. But I used to hold resentment for people in my past, people I didn't like in high school, maybe even a bully, some people in my football career, girls I didn't like, just people in general. And I'm not an asshole, and these people aren't assholes. Everybody grows. And what I've learned from my past is that, people grow. Like, the person I was last month is not the person I am this month. Like, not everybody grows as fast as other people, but, it's life. You grow, and you look at yourself like 2 days ago and you're like, wow, I was such a dumbass. And that's kind of a good thing. That just means you're growing. So what I'm trying to say is you can't judge a person instinctively off of what they've done in the past, because they could be a completely different person today. But like I was saying, when you hold resentment towards other people, you put yourself in the position of a victim. And if you put yourself in the position of a victim, no matter how good it feels, because let's all be real, feeling sorry for yourself is a good feeling. As bad as it sounds, people like to, and I used to do it. Like, if I was put in the position of victim and people feel sorry for me, or I feel sorry for myself, it would be kind of a good feeling, like a baby, like you're babying yourself. That's kind of the situation. But you don't want to do that. You never want to put yourself in the position of victim, because you lose control of the situation. You give power to something else, power over your life, the life that you want to direct. So that's like the first thing I want to talk about. That's the first tip I want to bring up. I want to elaborate on that a little bit more. So I guess I'll give you guys a quick story. My football career was, what's the word for it? Probably couldn't put it into one word. I would say, you could say uneventful, but you could say like a big lesson for me. The story I want to tell is basically, excuse me, I don't know if you guys heard that, but my lessons from football. So, there's a couple of different lessons, but I'm just going to say probably like 3 of them in the story. And I guess it goes like this. I got into football because my friends were in it, and, high school kid, it was just one of the sports at our high school, our small high school shaped like an H. That was one of the sports that they offered. And, it was always fun playing it with my friends. So I was like, why not play, with a team? So I remember vividly, like, the first time I tried to go on the team, it went horribly, and I really just left basically the next day. But I remember basically I would try to go into the locker room, and they would have meetings and stuff, and I would be in there with them. And, we were supposed to say each other's names and greet each other, stuff like that, because the coach would call our name and just, call out people's attendance. So he called out my name, and basically, I don't remember the exact detail, but something embarrassing happened, and people were laughing at me, and that's not nothing I wasn't used to. Like in middle school, high school, Like, I mean, that's cool. Like, people laugh at you, people clown with you, you clown at other people. We are kids, so no one really cares. But not today, at least. But yeah, that was like the first experience with the football team. Then I was like, nah, fuck this. This is not my thing, and I just dipped. Then I ended up coming back. Can't remember exactly how it happened. I think like the next year I ended up coming back because another one of my friends were going in, and we were going in together. So it was like, whatever, we're both gonna suck together. Like we're gonna suck ass, but it's okay. So yeah, so I ended up making it into JV. Didn't start my first year playing JV. I need to cut this story short, so I'm just gonna skip a lot of events, nothing major, but basically I was really bad my first 2 years. I probably got a little bit of playtime on JV, but I ended up like really playing JV 11th grade and ended up going to varsity 11th grade as well because I just had to prove myself to the team. But one thing that I really did notice was I was a really hard worker in football, and I think that's why I work hard today as a person. Football just built discipline in me and it built work ethic in me, and those are two things that people can't take away from me because of football. But yeah, so I ended up going into varsity 12th grade, and a lot of high school students that play football have this dream to go to college and go to the NFL because they think it's a sport that they love. And I'm getting really, really off topic, so I'm just going to jump to the conclusion. But they think it's a sport that they love, so they want to commit to it fully, and they want to go to the NFL. Those are dreams that the coaches sell to them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But I didn't try to go to the NFL after my senior season. After my senior season, I just quit football completely, which was a great choice. Granted, it was a lot of fun sometimes, and sometimes it wasn't a lot of fun. I'll go way deeper into that story in another video. But the 3 lessons that I want to bring up is this. I used to hold a lot of resentment towards the coaches and the team because I feel like I worked harder than everybody on the team, so I instinctively deserved a spot on the field. Which, if you think of it in that sense, it makes sense, but that's completely wrong because nothing in life is given to you. You have to go get whatever you want. Whatever you want in life is your job, is your responsibility. You're somebody who's self-reliant, and you're somebody who's independent. So as that person, you have to go get whatever you want out of life. Life doesn't just hand shit to you. And even when it does, most of the time it's not even worth it, right? So that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned from football. And a lot of times you would have to look at it from a different perspective. You will have to step out of yourself and look at the situation to know what can I learn from it. What's another lesson? Another lesson that I learned was I used to have a lot of limiting beliefs, and I used to have a lot of negative beliefs. Oh my God. My bad. The timer just went off, so back to what I was saying. The next thing that I learned was I used to have a lot of limiting beliefs in my football career, and that's not good to have in any career because, as a lot of people may know, success is relative, meaning there are certain things and certain personality traits and certain beliefs and certain skills that you have to have in every field, in every career field, no matter what it is. Being a business owner, being a manager, being, a car dealer, stuff like whatever you work in, you have to have certain beliefs and character traits and maybe certain skills, but it's all relative, right? And what I'm trying to say is I used to have a lot of limiting beliefs and negative beliefs. This came from myself, my own thoughts, from other people telling me, and just like my environment. Like a lot of times I wouldn't be happy in my environment. So that caused me to have a negative imagination, and it caused me to have limiting beliefs about myself and my environment. So I just thought I couldn't make it, or no matter how much you try to tell yourself, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and catch this ball, because I had those limiting beliefs, it was like a glass ceiling on myself, basically. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Next thing, and I guess a solution for that would be this. don't pay so much attention and don't let your thoughts hold so much weight on your future. Because a thought is a thought. It's nothing more, nothing less, right? Watch your thoughts. Be careful about the stories that you tell yourself, because the stories that you tell yourself determine how you see yourself, and how you see yourself is the most important thing. And yeah, surround yourself with positive things. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with your desired goal, right? And the next big lesson I learned, I used to have a negative goal picture, or I used to have the wrong goal. And let me elaborate on this a little bit more. Basically, my conscious goal was to go out there and catch as many passes as possible, make as many plays as possible, and just be the person I trained to be all off of the field. But what I learned from it was, because I would always worry about my performance before I go onto the field, because I would be like, okay, hopefully, I don't drop the ball, or what if like this happens and then this happens, worrying, and then you just saying what if, and then you're entertaining the negative thoughts more and more, and you end up imagining the wrong thing. And whatever you imagine, basically you can imagine your futures. So whatever you imagine, that's what your future could be. So you imagining yourself failing and you imagine yourself succeeding holds the same weight. What I would do is I would unknowingly and unwittingly imagine myself, just dropping the ball. Imagine myself fucking up a block. Excuse my language, but I would imagine myself doing the wrong thing, and what that would do was program my subconscious mind to have the wrong goal. And what I learned from that was a couple things. Instead of having that negative attitude and imagining the wrong things and worrying, have a positive attitude. Be relaxed, because you've practiced so much off the field. You can literally put in all that deliberate practice, but you have to let go and let your body do the work for you, because if you don't, you're going to just be stopping yourself. So that's the first thing, like relax and be positive, have that attitude. Second thing is act as if, meaning you may not have the proof now, but the sooner you act like you have the proof, the better it'll be for you, because you'll be 50% of the way to achieving your goal. And hopefully that makes a lot of sense. You don't wait until you have the proof. You act as if it is there, and it will come through. That's one of my favorite quotes. Check out the book Cybernetics. That's a really good book. But that's one thing I had to do as well, and I just had to picture the desired goal and ignore all of the negative thoughts and negative images. I don't entertain that. I just focus on the goal. So those were the three things that I learned from football, and those were really big lessons for me. So that's really like a quick story to show these lessons can apply to your life. Whatever you're going through, whatever situation you're in, I'm telling you that you can put your blame on yourself and you can become the solution to your problem, because it all falls down to you. Like, it's a lot of bullshit that falls on us every day and that other people throw on us every day. And it's not their fault, because they're just going through some shit, and they just have a dump load of trash and they just want to throw it everywhere. It's not their fault. They do it unknowingly. And yeah, focus on what you can control. Take the blame for everything that comes into your life, and you'll see how much power you have. You'll see how much freedom you end up having, because whatever happened to you, you'll be okay, because you can take control of your life. So whatever situation you're going through in your life, I hope this story inspired you, and I hope you can learn from all my lessons. What I want to say is this, like, whatever you're going through in your life, whatever situation you're in, whatever tough spot you're in, hopefully you can just look at yourself and you can find a solution from within. Even if it's something that you have to do to make an external change, if that makes sense. Just remember this one quote: everything starts from within. Peace.